In the hushed corridors of Westwood Academy, a single harsh decree shattered the routine calm. Ms. Reynolds declared with a cold finality that farm girls had no place in her advanced biology class, leaving Ellie Thompson clutching her perfect test papers to face a tide of whispered judgments. Yet, beyond the school's imposing red brick walls and manicured lawns, a modest pickup truck carried more than just a daughter home. It bore a secret that would soon upend the very foundations of elitism. The following morning, as Principal Carter prepared for another day of rigid traditions, the unmistakable thrum of helicopter blades cut through the air. A sleek aircraft, emblazoned with the bold emblem of the Thompson Family Foundation, descended gracefully onto the campus field, a dramatic arrival that signaled change was imminent. This was no ordinary visit. It was the catalyst for an extraordinary reckoning with prejudice and a call to recognize talent where it truly grows. Stay with us on Acts of Kindness Stories as we unfold this compelling tale of resilience, transformation, and the power of second chances. In the tense hours following that fateful morning at Westwood Academy, the memory of Ms. Reynolds' cold dismissal still lingered in every silent corner of the school. Ellie Thompson's flawless test papers had become an emblem of her hard work, yet the sting of being cast aside because of her humble roots clung to her like a shadow. Her father, Mr. Thompson, guided their worn pickup away from the polished gates, their hearts heavy with disappointment but silently brimming with determination for what was to come. The very next day, as Principal Carter methodically prepared his office, still reeling from the unexpected events of yesterday, a sudden, persistent hum grew louder outside. The sound of rotor blades filled the air, shattering the morning's routine with its insistent cadence. Outside, a sleek private helicopter descended onto the Academy's field, marked boldly with the emblem of the Thompson Family Foundation. Its arrival was not a simple act of luxury. It was a statement. This was the unmistakable arrival of Dr. Grace Thompson, Ellie's mother, whose reputation as a pioneering innovator in educational and agricultural research had recently earned her accolades on the national stage. With measured steps and unwavering resolve, Dr. Thompson stepped onto the meticulously maintained grass of the campus. Clad in a sharply tailored suit, she radiated the quiet authority of someone who had overcome monumental obstacles to reach her position. Her presence turned heads immediately. Students, faculty, and even the most reticent staff members paused in their routines, their eyes fixed on the unexpected guest who had come to set things right. Inside the administration building, Principal Carter's earlier confidence began to falter as he reviewed his decisions with a growing sense of unease. The rejection of Ellie had been made in haste, a judgment based on superficial markers rather than the undeniable merits in her application. Now, as Dr. Thompson's figure appeared in the corridor, every preconception Carter held about proper applicants was challenged. He had always prided himself on the legacy of Westwood Academy, an institution steeped in tradition and known for cultivating the future leaders of society. But here was a young woman, Ellie, whose record of academic excellence and innovative spirit shone brighter than any inherited pedigree. And now, her mother's dramatic arrival demanded accountability and change. Dr. Thompson's initial conversation with Principal Carter was direct and measured. In a quiet yet firm tone, she outlined her concerns. Westwood Academy's rigid admissions criteria had not only dismissed a bright student based on her background, but had also perpetuated a cycle of elitism that undervalued genuine talent. Our children deserve to be judged by what they can achieve, not by the circumstances of their birth, she declared, her voice resonating with both authority and compassion. The conversation grew into a series of pointed exchanges where Dr. Thompson, supported by Mr. Thompson's steadfast presence, challenged the deeply ingrained biases that had long dictated the Academy's policies. At the heart of the debate was a proposal, a transformative plan to overhaul the admissions process. Dr. Thompson insisted on the implementation of a blind review system, one that would strip away extraneous details such as family background and social status, focusing solely on the merit and potential demonstrated by each applicant. She proposed a comprehensive training program for admissions staff to recognize and counter implicit biases. More than that, she argued for active outreach initiatives to identify gifted students in underrepresented rural communities, ensuring that talent would no longer be hidden behind preconceived notions of privilege. Throughout the unfolding drama, Ellie stood as a quiet yet formidable force. Despite the humiliation she had suffered, her calm resolve and clarity of purpose became a rallying point for many within the academy. In one particularly moving moment, she addressed a gathering of concerned students and faculty members, speaking not just for herself but for every individual who had ever been dismissed because they did not fit a narrow mold. "I worked tirelessly, earned every accolade, and my achievements should be recognized for what they are. A testament to perseverance and passion," she said, her voice steady, challenging the very foundation of the Academy's outdated criteria. As discussions deepened, the board members of Westwood Academy, many of whom had long adhered to traditional measures of success, began to see the wisdom in Dr. Thompson's words. Heated debates turned into constructive dialogue. Stories emerged of students from rural and economically disadvantaged backgrounds whose raw talent had been overlooked for far too long. Principal Carter, forced to confront the impact of his initial judgment, expressed regret and a willingness to amend his ways. He admitted that by failing to look beyond appearances, he had not only wronged Ellie but had also deprived the Academy of the diverse perspectives essential for innovation and growth. This turning point was underscored by moments of unexpected vulnerability. In a quiet corner of the principal's office, away from prying eyes, Carter confessed to a trusted colleague that he had never considered how his rigid standards could inadvertently stifle potential. The realization that his institution might be missing out on brilliant minds simply because they did not fit a preconceived image of success stirred something deep within him. The meeting, which began as an unyielding stand on tradition, gradually morphed into an earnest exploration of new ways to nurture and celebrate excellence in all its forms. The conversation soon spilled over into the wider campus. Teachers, previously cautious in their support of the Academy's established norms, started sharing stories of students who had overcome significant obstacles to achieve greatness. There was an air of cautious optimism as plans for a revised curriculum and outreach programs took shape. The Academy's administration, buoyed by the persuasive arguments and heartfelt testimonies, began to draft a proposal that would not only admit students like Ellie but also actively seek them out, creating a more inclusive and forward-thinking educational environment. In classrooms, hallways, and even the quiet offices of Westwood Academy, a subtle transformation was underway. The campus, long a bastion of rigid tradition, was slowly being reimagined as a place where genuine merit could flourish without the constraints of outdated prejudices. The ripple effects of Dr. Thompson's visit were felt immediately. Conversations shifted from defensiveness to reflection, and an emerging sense of responsibility spread among educators and administrators alike. They recognized that every student, regardless of their background, carried a unique spark waiting to be kindled, if only the system could be flexible enough to nurture it. The entire episode became a catalyst for broader educational reform within the Academy. Faculty members began revising lesson plans and extracurricular activities to ensure that students from diverse backgrounds could thrive. Special mentorship programs were launched, pairing experienced teachers with students who might otherwise have been marginalized. And behind every initiative was a shared commitment to a new vision, one where success was defined not by wealth or lineage but by resilience, innovation, and the courage to challenge the status quo. Even as the day progressed, the impact of that bold helicopter landing reverberated throughout the community. Parents, once content with a familiar hierarchy of privilege, started questioning long-held beliefs about what constituted true excellence. The transformation at Westwood Academy was not just about policy. It was a reawakening, a collective acknowledgement that potential could be found in every corner of society if only it was given a chance to shine. Throughout this profound shift, the story of Ellie Thompson became a symbol of hope and progress. Her journey, from the sting of rejection to the rallying cry for change, was a powerful reminder that every setback held the promise of a greater future. The lessons learned were not confined to one classroom or one institution. They resonated far beyond the walls of Westwood Academy, sparking conversations about fairness, inclusivity, and the true nature of achievement in educational systems nationwide. As the day wore on, the campus buzzed with activity reflective of its newfound mission. Staff and students alike worked with renewed purpose, embracing the challenges and opportunities that came with dismantling long-held biases. In this new era, Westwood Academy was not simply a school for the privileged. It had become a beacon of change, a place where every student's potential was recognized, regardless of the background they came from. This remarkable transformation, ignited by a moment of profound injustice and carried forward by the courage of one family, had set a precedent that would redefine the Academy's legacy for years to come. The bold steps taken on that crisp morning had not only altered admissions policies and educational practices but had also paved the way for a more empathetic and dynamic learning environment, a legacy of inclusion and opportunity that promised to impact countless lives in the future. Stay tuned on Acts of Kindness stories as we continue to explore the unfolding journey of Westwood Academy, where the seeds of change planted by one dramatic day continue to blossom into a future defined by fairness, innovation, and the belief that every student has something extraordinary to offer. The turning point at Westwood Academy left an indelible mark on everyone involved. As the day drew to a close, the once rigid halls buzzed with a renewed spirit of inclusivity and purpose. Dr. Thompson's unwavering stance and Ellie's quiet resilience sparked a movement that transformed policies and shifted hearts. Faculty, students, and families united to reimagine what true excellence means, one that values merit, innovation, and diversity over traditional measures of privilege. In that moment, the Academy became more than an institution. It evolved into a community that nurtures potential, empowers dreams, and builds a legacy of fairness for generations to come. If this story of transformation and hope has moved you, please show your support by liking this video, sharing it with others, and leaving your thoughts in the comments below. Every like, share, and comment helps amplify the message of change and kindness. And don't forget to subscribe to Acts of Kindness stories. We're on a mission to reach 10,000 subscribers so that more people can join us in creating a future where every talent is recognized and every student is given a fair chance to succeed. Thank you for being part of this journey and for believing in the power of positive change.